The Northwest University, like other universities across the country, has started registering first-year and new students. And among the many challenges facing first-year students are the NSFAS funding issues, registration fees, accommodation, and of course safety. And some students at the university are apparently stranded without accommodation because the administration allegedly withdrew the lease agreement for all private accommodation. So let's cross now to our reporter, Tlale, who is at the University of the Northwest Mahikeng campus to tell us more about what's happening there. Tlale, good morning. Are there any students there, and what exactly are they saying about this problem?
A very good morning to you, Sakina. Indeed, there's quite a number of students on campus. The SABC's Motsweding FM just had a broadcast here on campus where we were highlighting challenges that are facing students. And one of the biggest challenges that were highlighted are issues of safety and accommodation. Like you rightfully did mention there, that some of the accommodation, private accommodation, is not being funded, if it is not accredited, and this is creating a huge challenge for students, as many of them are registered, some are accepted, but they have nowhere to sleep. And we're going to get more details or talk about this issue lengthily with the acting chairperson of SRC, Tabang Tlale. So can you come a bit closer to me? Thank you very much. Tell us, so what are the issues that are facing students, particularly when we talk about accommodation?
Thank you very much. Issues that are facing students, especially in accommodation, number one, which is the one that we must prioritize, is the off-campus safety for students. And number two right now is the issue that NSFAS, because that was the only thing that will assist students to come to universities, it will never pay for off-campus private accommodation. So those are the challenges that we are faced with right now. And then as SCC engaging the management, we are trying to find a solution to that. So yeah.
Okay, and then let's paint a picture of, Mahikeng, for example. We know the kind of accommodation that there is here. We know that it's a city or a place that is surrounded by villages, and so some of the places where the students are able to get accommodation are quite far. What concerns do you have? Because also you did raise issues of safety.
The concerns that we have is that the management, they are not adopting to other universities. The previous SCC or SRC that came before us, I know they've requested the issue of off-campus transport. In other universities, you'll find that the university has these buses that take students to their accommodations. I mean, it reduces the crimes outside where students will be marked. So the challenges that we have is Mafike in the surroundings, we have many criminals who are looking at benefiting from robbing the students or marking the students. And by so far, we already have a student who was marked a first year. But the reality is that, but the nice part is that the management have tried by all means to see how they can assist the student. And the student has now on-campus accommodation, and then he's given a subsidy of meals until the 20th of February. So those are the challenges. Mafeking is not safe at all. And if the police can also play a role of patrolling around the sites where students are going, at least things will be better.
Okay. So that for you would be a solution that can help.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. There, that was Tabang Tlale, SRC acting chairperson. You also have to highlight, Sakina, that we did invite NSFAS to be part of the conversation, and they said they could not make it. They first need to have a discussion with Higher Education Minister Blade Nzimande. Right now joining me is the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Dan Hwadi. Prof, thank you very much for your time. So you were highlighting earlier on that the university has about 12,000 students, but only 3,000 of them are able to be accommodated on campus.
The campus is actually 12,000. The university has more than 60,000 such. But yes, indeed, out of the 12,000, we can not really guarantee a bed for every student on campus. And at the moment, yes, we've got 3,000 beds, and we are building additional 1,700. So we rely then the rest on the partnership with our, the partners in the community, in terms of public-private partnerships for additional residences for our students. And of course, now NSFAS has also given universities a leeway to come up with their own criteria that will allow for accreditation of certain residences. It will not be at the same standard as the initial conditions, but however, they must ensure that there is safety, and this accreditation is meant to protect our students, because otherwise, if we don't do that, you will find a student staying in a tin house and paying a lot of money. So we are doing this in protection of our students and also to ensure that they get decent accommodation.
Okay, so if I am understanding you well, universities can now draft their own criteria for a private accommodation to be accredited. For you in particular as the Northwest University, what are some of the things that you will ensure are in place for that particular private accommodation to be accredited?
Well, firstly, it must be conducive for the student to, as a learning place, and also it must be safe.
Okay, Prof. Tabang Tlale just mentioned that they would like the police to be patrolling more, and you also did indicate earlier on that you do have a forum where the police are involved. How is that working? Is it very effective though? Because we do know that, especially in areas like Lonely Park, Dibate, students do get robbed and mugged on a daily basis, more or less.
Yeah, we know crime actually it's a national issue. But I can guarantee you, together with the police forum and the police here in our vicinity of all our campuses, there is very good partnership that at least takes care of all the hotspots in our student environment.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof, for your time. Well, that's where we're going to leave it. You heard the issues of accommodation.